Hi, Libra, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your February 20th to the 28th, 2022 reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. So let's see what the tarot has to say. Libra, February 20th to the 28th, 2022, Libra. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Oh, goodness. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. So at the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The top is our emotional self. And the right-hand side is the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. At our root, we have the Chariot. That's been coming up a lot in every single reading. This is Cancer energy, but this is also a moving forward with emotions. This is going to be a time where emotionally we feel like, oh my gosh, I have to move towards this, or oh my gosh, it has to be done like that. The next card is the High Priestess. There's a veil being lifted from our eyes. We're starting to see things in a very different way than we have been seeing them before. I'm just seeing that it's like all of a sudden we become conscious of something, right? And that's from the High Priestess coming in. And it's like, I have to act immediately, if not sooner. And Spirit is saying here, slow down a little bit, kind of rein in the horses, because they're going to lead us. You know, they can just like, yeah, it can. It can be an absolutely wild ride. It can be a sense of just moving forward, one emotional decision after another, and we'll make them so quick. And then we'll get to this place and be like, how did I get here? So just be very aware of that. Then we have the Two of Cups. This is healing. This is unity. This is coming together. This is the Minor Arcana Lovers card. It brings us to the Page of Cups, which is water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. If we're born on the cusp with Scorpio, or if we have water sign energy in our chart, it comes through in our inner selves, but it also makes us very, very much a learner. So it can also make us a little bit insecure, and that's for everybody. When the cups come through, it's like the child coming up. And so here it is an emotion that needs to be taken care of, that needs to be looked at, that needs to be understood. There might be an emotional connection to a child that's coming forward here, or to somebody who we just feel needs to be nurtured, taken care of, a little bit more pampered, a little bit more than we would anybody else, and or other people. And there's also the sense of connecting with emotionally, what do I want? What am I seeing? What do I desire? And looking at things in a different light. We're kind of breaking out of an old way of doing things. It moves us to our emotional self, where we have Virgo energy coming through. So if we're born on the cusp with Virgo, or if we have Virgo in our natal chart, that comes through very powerfully here at our heart. And this is the light illuminating us forward. This is looking inward at our heart, what we desire, and being like, oh, okay, well, I didn't realize that. That's why we have to slow down emotionally, because then we take up our knowledge. We really start to say, okay, this is the way I'm moving forward. Are we going to be a little bit unsure? Absolutely. Are we going to be a little bit overwhelmed? Absolutely. Sometimes a lot overwhelmed, but I'm still moving towards what I want, what I need, who I am, what I'm discovering in my life and for myself. It moves us to the Eight of Swords. Yeah, I was saying, like, this is also beautiful, but what is this anxiety I'm feeling? It's the Eight of Swords in the public arena. It is the, I'm afraid to make a decision. I'm too much in my own head, and everywhere I look, everything I think of, every, kind of way I think of stepping forward, it's like, oh my gosh, am I going to make a mistake? And it's second guessing ourselves to the point where we're frozen. We're just frozen like a statue. So just be very, very mindful of that, because we have the Seven of Cups. We're really moving towards what we wish and what we desire. I thought that was a tear for a moment, but it's a star on her cheek. And we're starting to see our dreams. And that's a beautiful thing. But yet, as we're starting to see our dreams, it's like, oh my gosh, now I'm really afraid. What if I muck it up completely? Type of energy coming forward. Let's look at the energy we need to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Yeah, the Queen of Cups. Emotionally, just things just charging forward, being overwhelmed, being kind of only guided by our emotions, what we desire, what we want, what we need, all of that. It can be astoundingly overwhelming for us. And this is also somebody who we can think of as a mature figure, or as a person who has some sort of authority within our lives, but they also are just emotionally manipulative. So just be very aware of that. It moves us to our chakra self. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Visualization. This is the third eye chakra. That's what the singing bowl here is tuned to. Visualization. Opening up our third eye, being able to say, this is what I'm seeing, this is what I desire, is going to be very important for us. Visualization gets a bad rap because we're thinking, okay, if we've been told if you visualize it, then it will come. Well, what you're doing when you visualize is you're setting out the neuro pathways, right? You're opening up your mind to what you want, and your mind is thinking, oh, okay, I can do this, or oh, okay, I have done this, because our mind doesn't really know the difference between make-believe and reality. And so when we're in situations where we're moving towards our dreams and what we desire, what we're discovering, our mind is saying, oh, okay, I've done this before. I can move forward in confidence. So visualizing the moments where we overcome something very hard, where we find ourselves still pushing forward, that's important for us, because we're visualizing our own resilience. We're visualizing our own determination. And that doesn't mean that we're looking at and kind of like, taking ourselves by eyes and putting negative things in our path. But it's very much saying that even if something tries to stop me, I'm moving forward. This is my goal. This is who I am. This is what I'm discovering and what I want and what I need within my life. And just letting that power, that glory really come forward. At our root here, and the astrology is in a separate video. I'll have that linked in the description box below. Here at our root, we have the Chariot. And I just really do see, and it's because we feel so stuck here in the public arena, that there's this energy of, if I just push, if I just, like, some action is better than no action, because we're really going to be inclined during this time to freeze, to just freeze and stop. And then we're going to get mad at ourselves and be like, okay, I just have to push forward. Something is better than nothing, just go, 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 go type of thing. And here we have to kind of step back and say, where do I want to be? What is important to me? What is it that I want inwardly? What is it that I want externally? What is it that I want spiritually? What is it that I want in the, kind of waking world, in the world of reality? And how do I meld these two so that I can be the happiest, most productive, most powerful form of me? because we have the veil being lifted from our eyes. We're looking at things in such a different way, in such a profound way for ourselves. And as the veil is lifted, as we're seeing ourselves more openly and more honestly, we're starting to reveal to ourselves things that maybe we've kept secret, even from us, or we've said, oh, you know what, it doesn't matter that I gave up that dream or that I didn't do that. That's totally fine. I have these responsibilities, and that was just silliness. But in our heart, it's like, wow, that was everything I thought I was going to be. And it doesn't mean that like it's something that would, well, it could be something that disrupts our whole entire life. It could be something where we sit there and say, you know what, I've always wanted to paint that picture or write that book or learn that coding or something to that effect. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to set aside time, and I'm going to tap into this energy, and I'm going to open up this door. And it becomes a time for us where it's like, oh, okay, I can do this. Oh, okay, I can see this. And it can really change us in a very positive way. But we also start to see our world differently. We start to see the people around us differently. We start to see the truth of things, and not just the veneer or the whitewashing that's done. When you kind of like prime a wall, or you put the white paint over so that you can just paint over it, but you can still see underneath. But only thing that's done is that light veneer, or that light cover up. We can see through that. And that's when people wear their mask. That's when people, are saying, oh, well, this is who I am. But really their actions speak completely differently. And we're going to see that energy calling certain people out, calling us out ourselves during this time. It moves us to the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups is healing, and it's unity, and it's connection, and it's coming together. And it's like okay, I can see. Like, okay, I know, I understand. And now I get to move forward in what I want. Inwardly, we're starting to calm down, we're starting to connect, but we're also looking at things in a very different way. And this can also be that we need to check in with our inner child, our inner self. We need to check in with how we're feeling, how we're developing, how we're moving forward, which might sound silly, but it's going to be really important for us during this time and just in life in general. The Page of Cups is this sense of, I'm learning emotionally. I'm opening up doors. I'm seeing myself. I'm letting myself learn and know and connect. And so here, it's that sense of, I'm not denying my heart. I'm not letting my heart rule everything. I'm not becoming one of those people who's just an emotional roller coaster ride every 5 seconds. I'm not becoming one of those people who's only, driven by numbers and logic and is cold and disconnecting. But I'm becoming a student of my emotions, of myself, of what I'm seeing, because I'm turning inward, because I'm looking at me more and more. This is a very introspective time, because we can feel so afraid of having our dreams come true, of having that next step bring us forward. And it's not that we're afraid of accomplishment. It's not that we're afraid of success. We're afraid of what happens next. What happens when that lifelong dream becomes a reality? What happens when that thing that we are so motivated to have is, and then we as human beings, we always strive for the next thing. What the heck is the next thing after that? We're turning inward, and our path is being illuminated. We're starting to see things in a new way. There's, this shedding of the old skin, but also this new flexibility of mind and understanding and instinct that leads us forward. And so we're gathering up our knowledge. We're gathering up what we know. The angels are protecting us. We need to protect ourselves on this journey. We're not going to be as confident, as we would like everybody to think. And it moves us to this place where we have all these doubts and fears. And this is frustration, anxiety, trapped, frustration and anxiety trapped written around us. We're frustrated, and that makes us anxious because we feel trapped. It's like, I'm that statue. I'm that person that cannot move. I've been put into this role, put into this place, and I cannot change it. And yet I want to. And so the frustration builds, the anger builds, the intensity builds. And this is going to be a time where it's like, you know what? Enough is enough. Either I can stay trapped my whole entire life, be told that this is it, this is where I'm to stand, this is how I'm to be quiet, or I'm going to say, you know what? I'm breaking out of this. I'm breaking out of this trap. I'm opening up my eyes. I'm seeing that the swords, there's a pathway forward. There's a way forward, and I can do it. I can be a part of this. I can open up this door. And it brings us to the Seven of Cups, where it says choice and instinct, passion and extremes. Yeah, there's extremes within our dreams. Things are revealed. It's a choice to follow our passion, to look at, our instincts and what we desire and say, there's a place for this in my world and for myself. And it might mean that I just feel like almost we're on the brink of doing something crazy, Libra. And it might be like, oh my gosh, I've always wanted to buy that software and now I bought it and I can't believe I did that. Or, oh my gosh, I always wanted to, take those pictures, or like, get a drone or something like that. And now I've done that. And it's not in like a bad way. It's always in like a very good, positive way. Like, I've always wanted to be able to embrace this part of my dream. Now I'm doing it. And that brings us to such a place of power, to such a place of intensity within ourselves. But the extreme of emotions is like, I'm going to go for it, I'm going to do it. It's almost like I'm going to pack up a bag and just move across the country type of thing, to feeling stuck and feeling overwhelmed. So we're going to go from one extreme to another, like not thinking out the logistics of anything, or feeling like I'm trapped here forever. And this is a time where we're finding the unity within us, we're finding that balance within us, we're turning inward, and we're looking at what we really want, because what we really want is really coming to the surface during this time. And it's like, I need to make time for me. I need to be a student of what my heart desires, of what I need, what I am bringing forward into my world. Because as I do this, I'm entering into the next level of where I thought I would be and where I truly am now, of what I truly want within my life. And it brings us to our subconscious energy to be mindful of, and it's the Princess of Pentacles. This is being kind of very reckless with money. It's focusing on one small thing or one small way and thinking that that's just it, that's the way it has to be. So excuse me, just be very, very mindful of that. It moves us to our subconscious crown chakra, and that's peace. We want to be crowned with peace. We want to be centered around our peace and what we're discovering and what we want and what we need for ourselves. And so that peace needs to be focused on. It needs to be focused on through meditation. It needs to be focused on through, self-discovery, or, just even sitting there and saying, you know what, that's not the right choice for me, because it's bringing up the anxiety, the doubt, the fear. And then also, saying, what is it that I need? How is it that I need to move forward for me? Because what's right for one person and makes one person blissfully happy may not be right for us at all. So just be very mindful of that. We have at our root here, subconsciously, the Lovers. The Lovers comes in. And this is unity. This is the major arcana Lovers card, and we have the minor arcana Lovers card. We're ruled by Venus. Love is very important to us, the connection with our heart. And it's saying, connect with your heart. Connect with the sacred masculine, the sacred feminine aspect of ourselves, the doer and the carer. Connect with what we desire, what we want, what we need, and see that unity blessed forward by our angels as we look at what we love, as we look at what we're passionate about, as we're looking at, what we are desiring from our lives. It's taking a time out and saying, maybe it's not all about action and doing right now. Maybe it's about setting it up. Maybe it's about setting up a plan, getting a planner, getting organized and saying, this is what I'm doing so that my dreams don't die with me, so that it's not always the wish of the shoulda, coulda, woulda. It is the intensity of the now and of my present that leads me forward. It brings us to our subconscious inner self, and that is the Nine of Swords. We're just so in our own head this time. We are worrying, doubting, fearing, being overwhelmed. There's the energy of I just can't. And that's why around here, it's like, I love it, I'm healing, but I'm too much in my own head. The anxiety is rising. What if I can't do it right? What if I don't get to where it is I want to be? It's being overwhelmed. So it's just really acknowledging that. It moves us to our subconscious emotional self, and that is the Nine of Cups. This is our wishes coming true. This is sweetness like honey melting on our lips. This is very much of joy and contentment coming forward. If we acknowledge the anxiety, and if we look at the anxiety and say, no, you don't get to win. And this might be, going to speak to somebody and say, I'm feeling anxious. How do I deal with this anxiety? How do I get help with this? And this can also be a sense of just understanding ourselves more. That it's not one thing, it's not one extreme or another. There can be a balance here. And there is a balance. Because subconsciously at our heart is looking at our dreams, and is looking at peace, and is looking at harmony of the self, and is really embracing us. It brings us to our subconscious public arena self, and it's the Six of Pentacles. Here it says, give, receive, family. Give, receive, family. It's a give and take. We need to have the scales balanced. We can't have everything be all tipsy-turvy, everybody taking or everybody giving, and always just feeling like I'm not contributing properly, or like so much is being put on my shoulders. There needs to be a balance here, and that's going to be very important for us to embrace and understand. subconsciously, we need that balance, even if inwardly, and we can see that with the Seven of Cups and the Eight of Swords. There's that discrepancy, that's out of balance with this is my dream, this is my passion, this is what I desire, and yet this is my doubt, this is my fear, this is my anxiety. We're going to jump from one extreme to another during this time, and being aware of it lets us be able to say, you know what, I'm getting out of my own head, I'm not stuck, I need to look at things differently. I need to kind of think outside of the box, turn inward. What is it that I really want? And what are the steps that I can take at this very moment to start to get myself there? That's going to be really important, because there's a feeling of hopelessness that can be around us during this time. And it's like, oh no, Libra, it's not hopeless. It's not hopeless. It's just different than what we were expecting. So just be aware of that. All right, Libra. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, the intensity, but also as we acknowledge the anxiety and the joy and the union and the beauty of this time, the extremes that we are entering into. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Libra.